Today, I'm diving into freezing cold water to see just how long I can last, and trust me, it's going to be a wild ride. Cold water swimming, it's an activity that's been gaining popularity rapidly, and for good reason. It's not just about dunking yourself in an icy lake for a social media stunt, it has some truly surprising effects on both the body and the mind. Many of us think of cold water swimming as something only extreme athletes or thrill seekers do, and that it's just too intense for the average person. We've all heard the warnings about hypothermia, and how it can be super dangerous if you're not careful. But the truth is, cold water swimming can be done safely by anyone, regardless of fitness level or athletic background. Another common misconception is that you need to be some kind of superhero to handle the cold, but in reality, it's all about acclimatization and gradual exposure. I think a lot of people are also put off by the idea that cold water swimming is just for masochists who enjoy punishing themselves. But the reality is, it can be a deeply meditative and even enjoyable experience once you get past the initial shock. And then there's the myth that you need to be a certain age or have a certain body type to swim in cold water, but again, this just isn't true. Cold water swimming is for anyone who's willing to take the plunge and try it out. In fact, cold water swimming has been shown to have some amazing benefits for our physical and mental health. From increased circulation and improved mood, to reduced inflammation and even potential weight loss, the science is really starting to stack up in its favor. But what's actually going on in our bodies when we take that first plunge into the icy water? When we swim in cold water, our body's initial response is to go into shock. Our heart rate increases, our blood vessels constrict, and we start to shiver. It's like our body is doing everything it can to warm itself up as quickly as possible. But as we acclimatize to the cold, our body starts to adapt, our circulation increases, our immune system gets a boost, and we start to feel a sense of calm and clarity that's hard to find anywhere else. One of the most amazing things about cold water swimming is its potential impact on our mental health. I've heard stories of people who've struggled with anxiety and depression for years, only to find that swimming in cold water has completely turned their lives around. It's not just the rush of endorphins and other feel-good chemicals, either, it's the sense of accomplishment and confidence that comes from pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. I want to share a story with you about someone who had a truly transformative experience with cold water swimming. Sarah had always been an avid swimmer, but after a series of injuries and setbacks, she found herself struggling to get back in the water. It wasn't until she started swimming in cold water that she really started to feel alive again. She told me that the first time she swam in cold water, it was like a weight had been lifted off her shoulders. She felt a sense of freedom and release that she'd never experienced before. As Sarah continued to swim in cold water, she started to notice all sorts of changes in her body and mind. She had more energy, she was sleeping better, and she just felt more confident and capable in her daily life. But the biggest change of all was her mental outlook. She felt more positive, more resilient, and more able to handle whatever life threw her way. It's stories like Sarah's that really make me excited about the potential of cold water swimming to transform our lives. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? Cold water swimming might not be for everyone, but it's definitely worth trying out if you're feeling brave, or even just curious. It's not about being some kind of superhero or extreme athlete, it's about pushing yourself outside your comfort zone and seeing what happens. Thanks for watching, guys. If you've got a story about your own experiences with cold water swimming, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. And if you're new here, be sure to check out my other videos on health and wellness. I've got some great content on topics like Wim Hof breathing and ice baths, and I think you'll really find it helpful.